other presidential news, on Friday, President Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on goods coming into the U.S. from China on top of the tariffs that are already there. This is in response to what President Trump described as Beijing's very hostile moves with respect to exporting rare earth minerals to the United States. And of course, those are critical to many U.S. industries. The repercussions of Donald Trump's decision have been immediate. Beijing responded with retaliatory tariffs of 125% on U.S. goods. Of course, this is decimating some American industries, most notably soybean farmers. The stock market also responded very negatively to this development, having its largest single-day drop since April, and some companies like Nvidia had a drop of as much as 5% in their stock price. Cryptocurrencies were also impacted with a massive sell-off. President Trump's trade war has been going on all year, and it's been on again, off again, on again, off again. And we still have to see what the Supreme Court decides about the legality of the tariffs that President Trump has imposed. Normally, it's Congress's role to levy tariffs and taxes, but President Trump used emergency powers to enact these levies, and it's ultimately the Supreme Court which will decide if his actions were constitutional or not. In more positive news, President Trump finally managed to broker and have both sides sign a peace deal to end the Gaza conflict. So an agreement between Israel and Hamas has been reached. This has been achieved with the support of key Muslim and Arab allies. President Trump was disappointed by the final announcement of the Nobel Peace Prize winner, which is not him. Instead, the prize went to a Venezuelan activist. President Trump's persecution of political enemies continues with the indictment of Attorney General Letitia James in New York, who was successful in a civil fraud case she brought against President Trump's business. And today we find out that John Bolton will be the next to be indicted. Deployment of the National Guard to American cities has continued, with troops deployed to Chicago, although that move was temporarily blocked by a federal court. It's a strategy President Trump has clearly embraced. Finally, President Trump announced the launch of the Trump RX program. What the Trump RX program is a discount program for prescription drugs, which would make those drugs available to U.S. consumers at most favored nation pricing. It's not a novel idea. There are similar companies, including a startup that Mark Cuban launched, that basically do the same thing. If you have health insurance coverage, it's unlikely to affect you. Your cost share for your prescriptions through your insurer is still going to probably be dramatically lower than what you would be able to purchase through the Trump RX program.